Today we're going to thrift stores in our area to find items that you can upcycle, save from landfills, and give you tips on how you can use those items in your next art or craft project. Hi everyone, I'm Tanner, and this is my wife Amy. And in case you've never seen our channel before, we are full-time artists and crafters. Of course, if we find any displays or items like that for the booth, we'll let you know as well. Stay tuned to the end to find out what our best find was and how we're going to use it. So right away you can see the Goodwill is filled with a lot of clothing. Some of it is well used, but often there are almost like new t-shirts available too. These t-shirts are great for doing your own designs with vinyl or for screen printing. We picked up a small t-shirt a couple months ago and did this design for our daughter. It's based on our dinosaur journals and keychains. Of course, there are usually a lot of mugs available at pretty much every thrift store. These are good for making a lot of different type of crafts. If you're looking to make a bunch of one design, check for mugs that match or for full sets. You must have seen those candles in teacups before. This is where everybody's getting them from. Each one becomes a one-of-a-kind, and whoever buys it gets their own vintage or antique teacup to enjoy when the candle's done. We saw these cobalt vases that would be great for people who do vinyl crafts as well. We decided to go down the glass aisle, and lo and behold, there were tons of clear wine glasses, perfect for painting on or adding your own sayings with vinyl. The same with these charger plates. At many of these stores, people will often get rid of their whole set, so you can get 4 to 8 of the exact same ones. Next, we wandered down the office supply aisle and found lots of kitchen scales. I find these are great for getting an accurate weight for small packages from your online store. We also saw some bubble wrap, and my hands are getting kind of full, otherwise I would have shown you the wrapping paper on the bottom shelf too. Who else buys too much when they're out thrifting? And of course, if you're looking for safety glasses, it's a good idea to check your local thrift store first, as they often have brand new ones. Just down the aisle, there was an assortment of cutting mats, and you can never have enough of these no matter what you're making. And there were new scissors as well, and not just new to me, they're new to everybody, and they're still in the package. Down the same aisle, there were some children's beading sets and organizers for a pretty decent price. As well as these organizers, which we picked up for organizing small components. In the next aisle, there were pastels, canvases, and stamps. Of course, each week has its own sale where there's a large discount based on the color of the price tag. Near the front of the store, there were some spoons. These are great for spoon rings and other types of jewelry as well. Now, on to the next stop. Here we are at Value Village. I think they're also known as Savers in the US. Value Village always seems to have the best crafting supplies. They lot them up in bags, and you can get the entire bag for a good price. Also, if you bring in something to donate, you can get an additional 20% off coupon that you can use that day. There are bags of frames, great for painters or cross-stitchers who frame their work, but they're also good for displaying signs at your booth too. This was filled with ribbons all lotted together. There was so much to look at. It was literally falling off the shelves at this location. Do you guys see anything that we missed so far? Let us know in the comments. What are you looking for? Dress? We went to the textiles, and they were lotted up in bags of yarn and various threads. Even the thick yarn was available here. Of course, there was buttons and other items for sewing, and a lot of knitting needles. When we're thrifting, we often see large bags of sewing thread and other items for people who sew, as well as a long double-sided row of fabric of all kinds. Did I say there was a lot of fabric? Because there was a lot of fabric. On to my final stop, the Salvation Army. These jars are great. We actually use these to put supplies in, but you can also jazz them up with a bit of vinyl or glass paints as well. There was a lot of jewelry at this location that could be reworked into new pieces. And this trunk, we have seen some pretty awesome trunks at different Salvation Armies. These look great in a booth. We have a variety for displays at our booth. Of course, they have ribbons, and we found a lot of stamps here as well, but our daughter got distracted at this point by some Monster High dolls for her collection. It's fun just to go through thrift stores, see what you can find, and maybe turn it into something new for yourself or something to sell. Now we will share our best find.
Hey everyone, it's Amy. We're back at the studio, and I'm going to share with you our favorite purchase from one of the featured stores. Here it is. It's a bag of jewelry craft supplies we bought for $3.99. There are some chains and cords, a couple of necklaces that can be reworked, a bag of beads, but the best part of this bag was 70 new bezels for pendants. Unused earring backs and unused earring posts. With these, we could either solder or glue some bezels for stones, or even just add some metal shapes. What would you do with these supplies? Anyways, thanks for following us along on our trip to the local thrift stores, and we hope to see you next time.